Hi friends, welcome to this new video on astrology. I will cover Saturn in different nakshatras part 2 and part 3 in the subsequent videos. Don't worry, it will come up in some time, but today I'm going to talk about the 7th house of your horoscope. Which zodiac sign do you have in the 7th house? And today it's going to be like never before. Certain things you'll be able to decode about your partner in a wonderful way by applying certain techniques which I will discuss very soon. So let me know how much it resonated with your horoscope. Just look at the 7th house of your horoscope. Which zodiac sign you have in the 7th house? Say if you're a Leo ascendant, in the 7th house you have the sign of Aquarius. So your partner, your spouse is now going to be defined by Aquarius zodiac sign, because in the 7th house there is Aquarius for a Leo ascendant person. So look at the 7th house. Which zodiac sign is there? Alright, so that will say so much about your partner or your person's nature, their personality, their preferences, likes, dislikes, their mentality. Alright, it will also say so much about the way they will deal with the relationship that they have with you. How can you decode things about the way your partner or your person is going to deal with the relationship? That also will be covered, which was not covered earlier. How they will deal with this relationship. It's going to be very interesting. Do subscribe, contact or get in touch with me if you want personal consultation, or if you want to learn astrology. Details are there in the video description. You can text me. Now let's quickly have a look at the sample chart. Okay friends, so let's go through this sample chart. You can see this is the chart of a Leo ascendant. Alright, in the first house you have the sign of Leo. Just a moment. Alright, now friends, find out in this horoscope in the 7th house which zodiac sign is there. In the first house you have Leo. In the 7th house you have the sign of Aquarius. This is the first house where you have the sign of Leo. This is Lagna chart, D1 chart. In the 7th house you have the sign of Aquarius. So now this particular native, their person, their partner will be influenced by the sign of Aquarius. They'll have all those qualities of Aquarius in them. All different qualities denoted by Aquarius they will have. Alright, so their personality, nature, character will be defined by Aquarius. Alright, you should also look at the sign which is 7th from Aquarius. So if this is your person's house, 7th house, then 7th from Aquarius is relationship house for your person. For your person, 7th from Aquarius is the relationship house. Alright, so this is going to be their relationship house for your person in your horoscope, because this is your person's house. So you should also look at the zodiac sign which is 7th from Aquarius. So 7th from Aquarius you have the sign of Leo. So in relationship matters, your person will be influenced by the sign of Leo. In relationship matters they can be influenced by the sign of Leo. It's going to be a very interesting discussion. Let's get started. Alright friends, what will happen if you have Aries in the 7th house of your horoscope? So in the 7th house, the zodiac sign which is present is Aries. Then what will happen? Then your person will definitely be, dominated or characterized by the sign of Aries. So what will be their characteristics, or what will be their nature? First we'll talk about your person or partner's nature. They can be, again, Aries is ruled by Mars, Even Sun exalts in Aries. So find out how Mars is placed in your horoscope, even Sun. If they are more or less well placed, then they will be very courageous, enterprising, creative, intelligent. They'll also be disciplined, structured. But yes, they can be impatient, restless. They will be people of action. They want action. They'll be passionate about things. All right? They want, they want action. They want things to happen. So there can be a sense of restlessness, impatience, impulsiveness also. This is all about their nature. Very quickly they will, decide upon something and act. Even without thinking much, sometimes they will act because it is action that drives them. They like pace, swiftness. They like to be active. All right? If Mars is well placed, they'll be disciplined, structured, and definitely passionate about things in life. All right. Now, but sometimes, again, even if Mars is not so well placed, then they may even act without thinking, and later on they may have to repent upon their actions. So then there will be a lot of restlessness. If Mars is not well placed, there can be anger issues. They may have a short temper. So you could have temperamental issues with your partner. At times they could be dominating. All right, they will be assertive, courageous, even bold. And if Mars is not so well placed, especially if it's getting afflicted, say with Rahu, they could be unduly dominating also. It's possible. There could be ego clashes. They could have ego clashes. All right. So not just with you, but with people in general also. So they could have a sense of inflated ego. Again, if Sun and Mars not so well placed. If Mars is debilitated, then they could be someone who is not courageous. Somebody who is not, who does not have a sense of self-confidence. If Sun and Mars are not well placed, if they're weak or debilitated, then lack of self-confidence, lack of courage, lack of creativity, lack of discipline. But if they are well placed, then they'll be so enterprising, they'll be creative, they'll have original thinking, all right? And they will want to move ahead in life with a lot of ambition, passion, desire. Aries is fire sign, so they will want to bring about a positive change by dint of their energy, enthusiasm, all right? They definitely want to establish their identity in this life. If Mars and Sun are well placed, they will definitely, work hard and they'll be disciplined. They'll believe in knowledge, gaining knowledge. They can also be intuitive. They can have creativity. They can be very skillful also. So all these qualities. Now, how will they deal with the relationship? Now, friends, if Aries is in the 7th house, which is going to characterize your partner, then 7th from Aries is the sign of Libra. So in relationship matters, definitely the way they will approach relationship, that will be denoted by Libra. So physical attraction is going to be a very important element in the relationship for them. Their physical desire and attraction for the person is the key feature in the relationship, which is going to drive them in the relationship. All right? They want healthy give and take with their partner. They're looking for friendship besides great physical chemistry, or besides great intimate life. They are looking for friendship also in the relationship. They want to team up with their partner and do things. They want to chase common goals with their partner. Alright? So they always want to exchange their views, ideas also with their partner. All sorts of intellectual discussions also they may want to undertake with their partner. Alright? So yeah, their partner can mean the world to them. Their world also may revolve around their partner, because you see, 7th from them is Libra. So they will be so much attracted to their partner. Alright? And they will love to deal with their partner. They will love to, share hobbies, interests, do fun things also with their partner. Besides having great intimate life and having great intimate, passionate connection with partner. Now let's move on to what will happen if in the 7th house you have the sign of Taurus. Your partner's nature, your person's nature first. They can be very calculating. Alright? Find out how Venus is placed. Even Moon exalts in Taurus. Find out how Venus and Moon are placed in your horoscope. If they're more or less well placed, they'll be very caring. They'll provide you with a lot of nourishment. Alright? They'll be very serious and committed into things in life in general. And even in relationship, they will believe in serious commitment. I'll come to relationship later on. First, their nature. At times you may feel that, they take things ahead too slowly. They're very slow and steady in their approach to things. Why? Because they are very calculating. They believe in long-term plans, long-term goals, schemes. They have agendas in mind. That's how they're going to deal with people at large also. And they themselves they are people who are very hardworking actually. Again, if Venus is well placed. They believe in their own efforts. They believe in their own knowledge, in their efforts. They're very particular about their values, even family values. They may be very much, attached to the family. Again, it will all depend on how Venus is placed, if it is well placed. If not well placed, then the results will be different. So family values, family tradition, the knowledge that they have already gained from education, and so their principles, they will hold on to them. Alright? And they will believe in chasing their goals and targets in life in a very slow and steady way. They will want to proceed towards their goals, career goals, all kinds of goals in life. Very scheming and plotting, even very calculating Taurus. Alright, because they are also people who are intuitive. They have great power of intuition also. They have great analytical skills. They can be good at research, investigation. They want to lead a life of comfort and pleasure. That's their goal actually. Sensory pleasures, they can be attracted to that. Now, let's talk about how they will deal with this relationship. In relationship, you see, 7th from Taurus is Scorpio. So they will have serious commitment, definitely. They can also be secretive. If your person, like 7th house, you have Taurus, then your person can also be secretive about their relationship. At times they could be dominating, controlling in the relationship. Now, in the 7th house, 7th from Taurus, you have Scorpio. So at times they can be dominating, controlling. They'll want to have things their way. It's possible. But yes, they want great intimate connection, intimate life. Sexual attraction or compatibility in the relationship is important for them. They'll have a very deep-rooted connection with their partner, very deep-rooted, and which is something which they would guard as their secret. They would not like to share things about their relationship with anyone outside. So they're very particular about that. Definitely sexual attraction or compatibility will play a role in the relationship. Alright. They can also get drawn to people who are intuitive. They can get drawn to such people because they themselves deal with situations and people and even their partner in a very intuitive way. Intuitive, deep-rooted, passionate connection, even great emotional connection. That is also what they want in the relationship. In relationship, definitely they are looking for loyalty, commitment. Alright? So all these things, if you have Taurus in the 7th house. Now let's move on to what will happen if in the 7th house you have Gemini. Then your person's nature. Your person can be fun-loving, witty, humorous. They would love to share jokes. They can be friendly by nature. Again, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Find out how Mercury is placed. If Mercury is more or less well placed, then you'll get such results. They can at times be a little talkative, but great sense of wit and humor, intelligence, great intellectual curiosity about things. Alright? They can be people who like to travel, definitely. Alright? At times they can be indecisive also in life. Initially, especially, maybe they have been indecisive regarding career choices or even relationship choices. Later on, if Mercury is well placed, they will be able to make proper choices in life by dint of their intelligence. They can do very well in technology, research, investigation. They're very logical, practical. They have intellectual capabilities. Now, how will they deal with this relationship that they have with you? Now, 7th from Gemini, you have the sign of Sagittarius. So, if your person, now in the 7th house, if you have Gemini, then your person is definitely looking for a deep-rooted spiritual connection also with you. So, your person, they want a spiritual connection. They want a relationship based on responsibility. Okay? Mutual responsibility. Dutifulness. That is important for them in the relationship. Even true spiritual love. That's what they are looking for. They want true love, spiritual connection. That's what they're seeking in the relationship. Alright? Now, if they find a suitable partner, depending on the dasha that they'll be running or they would be running, so depending on the dasha, if they are able to find a suitable partner, then that partner can also bring good fortune into their life. There can be growth, expansion in their life after the entry of their partner into their life. It's possible. They want a relationship which is based on loyalty, devotion, even dutifulness. That sort of relationship they want. If in the 7th house you have Gemini, because Gemini will now characterize your person's nature, but how they will deal with the relationship. So what will be their expectations from you? That you will be able to see when you look at the house which is 7th from the house in which you have Gemini. So 7th from Gemini is Sagittarius. So in relationship matters, no? They will have this sort of approach. that they will expect you to be very committed, dutiful. That's what they will expect from you. They will expect you to be devoted, loyal, accountable to them. All these things about your person. If in the 7th house you have the sign of Gemini. Now in the 7th house, let's move on to the next sign. If you have the sign of Cancer in the 7th house, then what will happen? Your person's nature, first of all. Again, find out how moon is placed in the horoscope. If moon is well placed, then they will definitely be very caring. As a person in general, they can be very caring, compassionate, very intuitive, creative. All these qualities they can have. They can have mood swings, okay, fluctuations in their moods, emotions. It's possible. But yes, very emotional and very sensitive person they can be. If you have Cancer in the 7th house, their nature I'm talking about. Jupiter exalts in Cancer. If Jupiter is well placed in your horoscope, they can also be very knowledgeable. They can do well in the field of research, investigation, any sort of field which involves in-depth study and research. They can be great healers also. Healers, psychologists, caregivers. They can also do well in counseling. They can have great power of intuition. Now, how will they deal with you in the relationship? Now, your person is characterized by the sign of Cancer, because in the 7th house you have Cancer sign. 7th from Cancer, which sign is there? Capricorn. So in relationship, matters, they can be a little controlling and dominating also at times. It's possible. They will expect you to be responsible towards them, to be accountable to them. Alright? They want that relationship should be based on mutual responsibility, accountability. Because why? 7th from Cancer, you have the sign of Capricorn. And at times they will have a tendency to control you, to dominate you also. They will expect you to take responsibility. All these things, all these expectations they can have from you. In relationship, they definitely want a relationship which is based on commitment. Commitment is very important for them in the relationship. They're looking for a long-term or lifelong relationship which is based on serious commitment and mutual responsibility. That's what they're looking for in the relationship. In relationship matters, they will be influenced by the sign of Capricorn. Alright? So, they can also have some agenda, some motive behind choosing their partner. It's possible. Because Capricorn also makes you, when you have, now your person, 7th from them is Capricorn. So then, in relationship matters, they can be calculating. They have some goal in mind. And that is why they want to attach their fortune to someone, because they have some goal, some motive. It's possible. Because they are looking for a lifelong or long-term relationship with their person. Some agenda. Alright? So definitely they will make use of their analytical powers, intuitive powers, calculating skills. When it comes to relationship, they can do that. Alright? So, they themselves are people who are, because they are driven by the sign of Cancer. So they may love music, they're very artistic, creative. That is why they want to attract somebody into their life who would be very responsible, grounded, practical. That sort of person they want in their life. Now let's move on to what will happen if you have Leo in the 7th house of your horoscope. Now find out how Sun is placed. If Sun is more or less well placed, your person can have leadership qualities. They can be courageous. They can believe in friendship. They can be creative. They will believe in gaining education, knowledge. They will also believe in being dutiful in life if Sun is well placed. They will like to take initiative in doing things. Establishing their own identity in this world is very important for them. They will stick to their own principles, their moral principles. They will stick to their family tradition. It's possible. Now, they can also be people who may at times have an inflated ego, because find out how Sun is placed. If Sun is afflicted, say with Rahu or something, they may have an inflated ego. Alright? Or if Sun is in fire sign and it's with fire signs or with Mars, then also they can be, a little hot-headed. They can have anger issues. But they will have leadership qualities. They can be very competitive by spirit. In spirit also possible if Sun has connection especially with Mars. So they will want to take initiative also in doing things. They can have entrepreneurial skills. They can be enterprising. They can be creative. They can have creative skills, artistic abilities. They can also be knowledgeable, or they can be knowledge seekers. They can also have power of intuition, all that if Sun is well placed. Very friendly. They are people who are approachable. Again, if Sun is well placed, they believe in friendship. Now, how will they deal with relationship matters? Now, 7th from Leo is the sign of Aquarius. So they can have a cerebral approach to relationship. A cerebral approach they can have. In relationship, they want healthy give and take. If healthy give and take is not happening, then they may not even remain in that relationship. They may withdraw themselves from their partner. They may, or from that relationship, they may kind of step back or move out. It's possible. They want healthy give and take. As long as that healthy give and take is happening with the partner, everything is fine with them. In relationship, they also believe that giving space to each other is very important. They can also have some, they can have an unconventional take on relationship also. Anybody with whom they can have healthy give and take, and somebody who's very friendly, with whom they can share hobbies, interests, with whom they can travel, with whom they can share their ideas, with whom they can have intellectual discussions, with whom they are mentally compatible. Such a person they can choose. And they will not, look at other considerations, like very logical approach to relationship. Somebody who can be a partner, somebody with whom they can team up. It's a very logical approach. We have Leo in the 7th house. Your person is going to have a very logical approach to relationship, very cerebral. It should be based on give and take. That's what they will believe in relationship matters. So if that healthy give and take is happening with anybody, say they will not, they don't believe, their mindset is not that traditional regarding relationship. So nothing, even age or caste, creed, community, religion, nationality, nothing can be a barrier also for them. If there is mental compatibility with the person, it's possible. A very unconventional approach to relationship also. Now let's move on to what will happen if you have Virgo in the 7th house. Then your person is now characterized by the qualities of Virgo. Very critical, analytical. Again, find out how Mercury is placed in your horoscope. Very hardworking, because Venus gets debilitated in the sign of Virgo. So these people, they may find a difficult time, or they may find it hard. They may have a difficult time finding rest. So they can't rest or sit back and relax. They're always working, very hardworking, very analytical, critical, meticulous about details. Their attention to detail is marvelous. And so they can do well in technology, occult, research, investigation. They have great intellectual capabilities and abilities of research investigation also. They can serve others also. They can do well in the service sector. All right, eventually in life, they can believe in charity and serving others also. They can be nature lovers. They can be very kind to animals. Again, if Mercury is well placed in the horoscope, all these things you can experience. Yeah. And what else? So in the 7th house you have the sign of Virgo. Now your person is totally influenced by the sign of Virgo. All right. So yeah. And so all these are traits that you will find in a person. Very particular about neatness, tidiness, cleanliness. That's also possible if Mercury is well placed. So yeah, they can be grounded, practical, very realistic. Now also materialistic. They can be materialistic. They will believe in working hard and amassing wealth and resources. Now, 7th from Virgo is the sign of Pisces. So in relationship matters, they'll be influenced by the sign of Pisces. How? So in relationship matters, they may tend to idealize the kind of relationship that they have with their person. They have certain ideals in mind, that my person should have these ideal qualities. So these parameters they have to meet. So all that, all such requirements they may have, that their person has to meet these parameters. Then only they can qualify as their partner. It's possible. They have an ideal picture of the partner in mind. Okay? Yes. And also, what they're looking for in the relationship is deep-rooted, intimate connection with partner. They can also be secretive about their relationship. They may not like to disclose things about their relationship to anyone else. So relationship is something which is very personal, very secretive, which is to be guarded and, so carefully. So yeah, and they want great sexual compatibility also with partner. Besides having deep-rooted, intimate connection, intuitive connection also with partner. All right, they expect their partner to be forgiving. They expect their partner to, trust them. So they want true intimate connection based on mutual trust. Mutual trust, where you have blind faith in each other and there is mutual trust. So that sort of relationship, they will idealize things also in the relationship. So if things fall short of their ideals, like in reality, in the world of reality and the world of ideals, they don't go together. So that is why, if they see that their partner does not fit into that image, then they can also get distanced from their partner. It's possible. Alright, so all these things about if in the 7th house you have the sign of Virgo. Now in the 7th house, if you have the sign of Libra, then your person's nature, they can be, again, find out how Venus is placed in the horoscope. Saturn exalts in Libra. Venus, Saturn, how they are placed. Alright, so if Venus is well placed, especially, then they can be very social, easygoing. They will always believe in maintaining harmony and balance and everything. And they will, because they are a Libra person, they will go out of their way to help others. They are so much busy in maintaining harmony and balance and peace. So they are peacemakers also. That they are so busy maintaining a harmony everywhere, within the family, outside also, at the workplace, that they want everybody to get along well with everyone else. So they want people to get along well with each other. So they can be the mediator. They can be somebody who can, help people resolve their conflicts. So they can be the middleman, the mediator. They can be someone who can resolve disputes. They can do very well in the field of law, liaison. They can do very well in counseling. But these people, they are thinking so much about others, and how they are a people person. They like to deal with people, and they want to maintain peace, harmony, balance everywhere. That at times they take recourse to self-neglect. Somehow their ambition, their purpose, all these things may take a back seat, and at times they tend to neglect themselves. They're so busy solving problems, others' problems, that they forget about their own issues and their own matters also. So self-neglect, it's possible. So that is their nature, actually. If in the 7th house there is Libra, a person's nature. But they can be intelligent. They can love traveling. Alright? They will believe in friendship, healthy give and take. So that's their nature. Now in relationship, how will they deal with their partner? Now 7th from Libra is a sign of Aries. So in relationship matters, they can get attracted to somebody who is active, someone who is passionate about life or things, about relationship. So they want a partner who's very active, passionate about things in life. Someone who's very energetic. So such a person can draw their attention. It's possible. So because in the 7th from Libra there is Aries. In relationship matters, they may suddenly enter into a relationship with somebody, and suddenly there may be breakup with someone. That is also possible. They can be very impulsive, restless, impatient in matters of relationship. Because in 7th from Libra, Aries, so very impulsive in matters of relationship. Relationship is very important for them in life. But again, very impulsive in decision making pertaining to relationship. So that their relationship life, it may not be that stable. There could be lack of stability or ups and downs in the relationship. All that is possible. They don't want a person who's boring. They want their person to be, very active, energetic, interesting. So they want new experiences in the relationship. Otherwise they get bored easily also. It's possible. if in the 7th house you have Libra. Now let's move on to what will happen if in the 7th house you have the sign of Scorpio. So 7th house of the sign of Scorpio. Now Scorpio will influence your person's nature, character, secretive. Again, Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Ketu is also, the south node of the moon is connected to Scorpio. Find out how Mars, Ketu are placed in Western astrology. Even Pluto is connected to Scorpio. Find out how Pluto is placed. So yeah, look at Mars. If Mars is more or less well placed, serious commitment in life, towards, not just towards relationship, but yes, serious commitment in relationship also. Why? Because if Scorpio is in the 7th house, 7th from Scorpio is Taurus. So in relationship matters, they are looking for serious commitment. Definitely. Now first I'll talk about person's nature. Now in the 7th house you have Scorpio sign. So find out how Mars is placed. In general, they can be a little secretive, mysterious, right? They may be people who are, it's very difficult to understand. Who are difficult to understand, or others may not understand them easily, their motives, intentions. So yeah, because they maintain some sort of secrecy, or they like to do things in silence, secrecy. They want to be away from the notice of others notice, attention. Away from all that, they want to, move ahead or do things very secretively, silently. It's possible. But if Mars is well placed, then whatever they will do it consciously, with a lot of desire, passion, energy. Transformation is the key word for them. Some transformation will come about in their life. If Scorpio is in the 7th house in your partner's life, some transformation. Either their career or relationship or anything has transformed them in life. As a person, as an individual, they have undergone transformation. They've seen ups and downs in life. It's possible. They can do well in research, investigation. Alright. So yeah, they can do well. They have great analytical skills also. They have the ability to go to the depth of things and uncover the truth. So they have great investigative abilities and all. It's possible. So they can do well in healing. So they can be great healers, even counselors. They can get into occult practices, spiritual practices. Right. Now, 7th from Scorpio is Taurus. In relationship matters, they'll be now influenced by the Taurus sign. They will get attracted to somebody someone maybe who's good looking, attractive, someone who is, they can get attracted to somebody who's hardworking, who has great analytical skills. So someone, again, who has knowledge, they may get attracted to such people. In relationship, if in the 7th house you have Scorpio, then your partner is looking for serious commitment in the relationship. Even sensual pleasures, gaining sensual pleasures is very important. Sensual gratification is important in the relationship for them. So they are looking for long-term commitment or lifelong commitment also in the relationship. In relationship matters, they can be calculating. Yes, they have some long-term goal. They have some goal and they have some agenda, and very calculating in their decision making. So if they finally commit to somebody, they will commit only after, weighing all pros and cons, and they will look at the bigger picture. And because relationship for them is a lifelong thing, so That is why they will be very calculating, analytical in their approach to relationship. It's possible. Very practical also in their approach to relationship. Now let's move on to what will happen if in the 7th house you have the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius. All right, now let me relax and sit back. So Sagittarius. That means first we'll talk about your person's nature. They can be knowledgeable, they can be knowledge seekers, they can be people, again, find out how Jupiter is placed in your horoscope. If Jupiter is more or less well placed, there'll be people who believe in gaining knowledge. There'll be people who are dutiful. They believe they have a sense of duty. There'll be people who won't compromise on their moral principles if Jupiter is well placed. All right? So they will be morally upright if Jupiter is well placed. So all these things. Now, if Sagittarius is there, they can also be very adventurous, optimistic, goal-oriented in life. Knowledge seekers. They may like to travel, explore new things. Intellectual curiosity they can have about things. All right? Religious-minded, or they can also be somebody who believes in their own principles. They believe in knowledge. So all these qualities they will have. They can also be optimistic if Jupiter is well placed. Relationship matters. 7th from Sagittarius is the sign of Gemini. Well, in relationship matters, they can be a little indecisive. Maybe they have been in multiple relationships initially, before they settle down with their final partner. Because indecisiveness in relationship. Possible. They will connect with somebody who is intelligent, friendly, who has great sense of humor. That sort of person. In relationship, they want healthy give and take. They value friendship also a lot in the relationship. Yes. They want healthy give and take. They want to travel with their partner. They want to share hobbies, interests, ideas with their partner. They want to participate in intellectual discussions because 7th from Sagittarius is Gemini. In relationship matters, they can also have a sense of duality. What they actually want in relationship, it's very difficult for others to know. Why? Because there is always a duality in relationship matters. Very diplomatic, dual-minded they can be in relationship matters. So, always in two minds, indecisive in relationship matters. Possible. So initially in life they can have a tough time finding a committed partner and being in a committed relationship. Later on, again, find out how Jupiter is placed in the horoscope, and 7th from Sagittarius, you have the sign of Gemini, so how Mercury is placed. So eventually they might be able to find someone, provided Jupiter and Mercury are well placed in your horoscope. So all these things about your partner, how they will deal with the relationship. They want give and take, healthy give and take in the relationship. They want friendship. They want to share jokes with their partner. They want to do fun things with their partner. They may even like to take recourse to role playing during love making and all. They want somebody who has childlike innocence, someone who has a sense of humor, someone who's friendly and intelligent and witty. Alright, now let's move on to what will happen if in the 7th house you have the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn sign will now define your partner's nature, personality, mentality. Your person can be very grounded, practical, goal-oriented in life, and they will always have an agenda behind doing things. Very great planners, organizers. They have a vision in life. They can also be intuitive. Very hardworking, materialistic. They want to work hard and accumulate resources and wealth for themselves. They can also be people who are at times a little controlling and dominating. It's possible. 7th house, you have the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn now, very grounded, very practical. Again, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Find out how Saturn is placed. If Saturn is well placed, then they will be people who are very responsible, accountable, who believe in justice, who are structured, disciplined, hardworking. Saturn gets afflicted, then they can also be people who are very controlling and dominating. Now, in relationship matters, 7th from Capricorn, you have the sign of Cancer. So they will definitely like somebody who is creative, someone who is emotional or emotionally sensitive. They will get drawn to such a person with whom they feel that they have an emotional connect. So emotional connection is very important for them in the relationship, because they themselves are so hardworking and it's all work all the time. So they want their person to be someone who is emotional, somebody who is very caring. That sort of partner they want, who would take care of them, who would provide them with nourishment, with whom they can have a healthy, sensual connection. Even sensual pleasures, they could be important for them in the relationship. Yes. They may get drawn to somebody who is intuitive, creative, knowledgeable also. Someone who is emotionally connected to them. It's possible. So in relationship matters, they are looking for deep-rooted emotional connection. But again, in relationship matters, your person, 7th house, you have Capricorn, 7th from Capricorn is Cancer. So there could be ups and downs, fluctuations in their relationship also. It's possible. Because after all, 7th from Capricorn, Cancer in the 7th house for your partner. So this is actually 7th from your partner. 7th house is your partner. So 7th from them, in that house there is Cancer. So in their relationship life, your partner will have to undergo ups and downs, fluctuations. Sometimes there'll be great chemistry, connection. Sometimes again, not being able to connect with each other and getting emotionally estranged from each other. Possible. Now let's move on to what will happen if in the 7th house you have the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is also the sign of mystery. Aquarius is an air sign. These people know their nature, first of all. They love independence. They love their independence, their freedom. Very free-spirited. They want to have their space. That's very important for them in life. Very ambitious. Very, very ambitious in life. The sky is the limit for them. There's no end to their, to what they want to achieve in life. So very ambitious by nature. Again, they can have intellectual capabilities. Very unconventional also. People who have an unconventional take on things. Your person will have these qualities. Their personality traits. Even the 7th house, you have Aquarius. Very unconventional in their approach to things in life. Alright? They can have humanitarian qualities. They may like to help the poor, the downtrodden. It's possible. They'll always like to stand up against injustice, protest against injustice, bring about a positive change within the family, household, or within the society. workplace, revolutionary in spirit actually. Again, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, and Aquarius is believed to be co-ruled by Rahu or the north node of the moon. Western astrology, Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus. Find out how these planets are placed, especially Saturn, even north node Rahu. They are well placed. They can have great research capabilities. They can have great intellectual powers. Very unique personality. Alright. So all these qualities they will have. Now what will they be in relationship matters? Now 7th from Aquarius is the sign of Leo. In relationship matters they can be a little controlling, dominating. It's possible. They're looking for commitment in the relationship. They're looking for spiritual connection. Somebody with whom there is a deep-rooted connect, spiritual connect. Somebody with whom they can have deep friendship. That sort of partner. With whom they can share their hobbies, interests. They can also get drawn to someone who is creative, knowledgeable. It's possible. Someone who is confident. Because you see, 7th from Aquarius is Leo. So somebody who is courageous, confident about themselves, they may get drawn to someone like that. But they are looking for true love, spiritual connection also. At times there could be ego clashes in the relationship. Find out how Sun is placed, because 7th from Aquarius is Leo, so how Sun is placed in your horoscope. If not so well placed, there can be ego clashes. Your partner can have ego clashes in their relationship with you. At times they would like to control and dominate also. It's possible. But basically they are looking for true commitment. They're looking for true love. They want friendship also in the relationship. Alright. So yeah, all these things. So 7th from Aquarius is Leo. So romantic connection they want. Romantic connection. Alright. So that element of love in the relationship is very important for them. So as long as that element of love is there, they will stick to you. All these things. Now let's finally move on to the final zodiac sign. If in the 7th house you have the sign of Pisces, then Pisces will define your person's nature, characteristics, personality, mentality. Pisces, these people initially in life, they may be a little confused, indecisive. They are weighed down by the expectations of others, always thinking about what others are expecting from them, what their family is expecting from them. So much thinking about others, as if they are leading others' lives and their own identity sometimes, everything may take a back seat. That can happen. If in the 7th house you have Pisces, your person will have all these qualities. Thinking so much about what others are expecting from them. Alright. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Find out how Jupiter is placed in Western astrology. Pisces is connected to or ruled by Neptune. Find out how Neptune is placed and especially how Jupiter is placed. If more or less well placed, then definitely they can be people who have knowledge, in-depth knowledge of things. They can be knowledgeable, yes. They can also be people who are compassionate. They will let go of your mistakes, follies, and they forgive others also if Jupiter is well placed. They can be forgiving, compassionate. Alright. And they can also at times escape into their world of idealism. Very idealistic in their approach to things also. Possible. They live in their own world of ideas and ideals also. Sometimes you may feel that they live in their own world of imagination. Because Pisces-driven people, so they may at times like to be in isolation. You may be seeking their company, you may want their company, you may be longing for their company. when you may discover that they are so comfortable in isolation. They're so fine. Maybe they're watching some movie or some series and they're so relaxed. They just don't want anyone else also. They love isolation so much. Now again, if Jupiter is well placed, so they will love even their isolation. So yeah, they may also be people who may remain a little aloof also. They may worry so much about others, but they may be people who are a little detached also from others. Though they are so worried, especially about their family. They are always worried. They want to fulfill all expectations that their family has, from them. Alright? So now Pisces is going to influence them. So they believe in devotion, remaining devoted. So it's like, because Pisces is also the sign of blind faith and devotion. So if they have certain principles, or if they are like devoted to their family, then no one can shake their faith and devotion in certain things. Again, if Jupiter is well placed, they will stick to their, certain ideas, notions, and the kind of devotion that they will have towards people, certain people in their life who are important. So that is unshakable devotion, unshakable desire. Also can be there to serve others. Now, eventually in life, they can become very charitable. Very charitable. They may think of helping others also, and being charitable to others. So these people, Pisces people, they are so much involved in helping others, thinking about others, what others are, fulfilling expectations of others, that sometimes, they forget to take care of their own selves. It's possible. They may neglect their own health because they are so possessed with what others are expecting from them. Now, they can do well in research, investigation. They can be intuitive, creative. It's possible. But they can have great powers of intuition. They have the powers also to forgive others if Jupiter is well placed. They can be compassionate, merciful, even knowledgeable, if Jupiter is well placed. In relationship matters, 7th from Pisces, you have the sign of Virgo. Now these people, you'll be shocked that your partner is so kind-hearted, compassionate, and goes out of their way to help others, never thinks about their own well-being, always thinks about others first, thinks about their family first. But in relationship matters, at times they can be very critical. Because you see, 7th from Pisces is Virgo. So critical, over-critical, and over-analytical also at times in relationship matters. Yes, it's possible. They can be drawn to somebody who's very hardworking, somebody who is, very goal-oriented, focused in life. So they can be drawn to such a person. So in relationship matters, they will be a little critical. In relationship matters, they will always be very grounded and practical. They will not make decisions illogically, no. The decision that they have made regarding relationship, that will be very logical. For their own family members, they have blind faith. They're totally devoted, and because family, So they feel that they are, they're connected through blood. But in choosing partner, in choosing business partner, or in choosing life partner also, they'll be very, very practical in such matters. So in relationship matters, they will always believe in going ahead practically. So practical considerations in relationship, they will always make. So they expect their partner to serve them also. And they don't mind even serving their partner. But they expect their partner also to serve them. So, very calculating, analytical actually, in their approach to relationship. In relationship matters, they'll be very calculating. It's not that, they will just, blindly, they will trust in the divine, and, they will, to take up that, leap of faith, and they will attach their fortune to somebody. No. In relationship matters, they will be very calculating, very grounded, very practical. They will think of their long-term goals. And only then all these considerations, practical considerations, will be there. Because for them, relationship is a lifelong affair. So it should be based on serious commitment. So they will also be very calculating, analytical in their approach to relationship. It's possible. If you have Pisces in the 7th house, they expect you to serve them. They expect you to be responsible, to be accountable to them. They expect you to do justice to them, to be loyal to them. They expect all that in the relationship. And yes, as I told you, very careful, before entering into relationship, serious relationship, they will verify all details. They'll pay attention to detail-oriented approach to relationship. It's possible. If you have Pisces in the 7th house of your horoscope, then your person can have all these qualities, and this is how, they will deal with relationship. How they will deal with the relationship, for that you should go 7th from Pisces and see that there is the sign of Virgo. And then you will know how they will deal with relationship in life. So friends, that was my take on what will happen if you have a certain zodiac sign in the 7th house, and how that sign is going to influence your person's nature, personality, and also from that sign you'll be able to decode how your person is going to deal with relationship in this life, how they're going to deal with you in this life. All this you'll be able to decode by just looking at the zodiac sign in the 7th house of your horoscope. Do subscribe if you want consultation. Details are there in the video description. And friends, before I wind up, please be kind, compassionate to all animals, birds and creatures, to all beings. Try to be a vegetarian. Donate vegetarian food to orphanages, old age homes, to people who are physically, mentally challenged. Be kind to all those who are weak, unprivileged. Be charitable towards them. So then you will definitely receive divine blessings. So with this thought, I wind up today's video. Let's meet up in the next video. Till then, take care and do subscribe and stay connected. Thank you.